Seniors, if someone asks you these questions, do not trust them. There comes a point in life when your greatest treasure isn't the money in your account, the home you've built, or even the possessions you've gathered. It's the wisdom you carry. Every wrinkle on your face, every silver strand of hair tells the story of survival, resilience, and lessons earned the hard way. You've walked through storms that others couldn't imagine, and you've stood tall in seasons that would have broken a weaker soul. That kind of wisdom should be honored, not taken advantage of. Yet in today's world, there are people who see seniors not as living libraries of history and experience, but as easy targets. They mask their intentions behind kind words, gentle smiles, or seemingly harmless questions. And if you're not careful, those questions can open the door for someone to strip away your security, your dignity, and even your independence. This isn't about living in fear. It's about living in awareness. Your life has immense value, and the lessons you've carried into your senior years are not meant to end in exploitation. You deserve to walk into every conversation with confidence, to know when to open your heart and when to shut the door. Sometimes danger doesn't come with threats. It comes wrapped in curiosity. A simple question about your finances, your health, or your family situation may feel like small talk, but underneath it could be a test to see just how vulnerable you are. And that's where wisdom must rise up within you. You are not powerless. You are not naive. You have walked too far and given too much to let anyone treat you as if you're easy to fool. Protecting yourself is not selfish. It's honoring the life you've built. So today, let's talk about the questions that should make you pause, the ones that carry warning signs. Because your trust is precious, and not everyone deserves to hold it. Number 1. How much money do you have saved? There's a reason this question feels like someone poking directly into your chest. It's personal, it's private, and it has no place in casual conversation. When someone asks you how much money you have saved, it may sound innocent at first. Maybe they frame it as curiosity or even concern, but underneath it's often a fishing line thrown out to see what they can catch. Think about it. You spent your entire life working, sacrificing, saving, and being careful. Every dollar set aside represents years of labor, sleepless nights, and choices you made for the sake of your family and future. That's not just money, it's your story, your sweat, your legacy. And nobody has the right to probe into that unless you have invited them into that sacred trust. Unfortunately, too many seniors discover too late that people use this very question to find a weak spot. A new friend, a neighbor, even a distant relative might ask, with a smile, "So, do you have a good bit saved up?" It might sound casual, but what they're really doing is measuring your vulnerability. If you answer openly, you give away more than numbers, you give away power. Some people use this knowledge to manipulate you into so-called investment opportunities. Others might use it to guilt you into lending or giving money. And the cruelest kind, they're sizing up whether you're worth scamming. They see your savings not as your reward for a life well lived, but as a prize they want to claim for themselves. The truth is, you don't owe anyone an answer. It's not rude to protect yourself. It's why your financial information belongs in the hands of professionals you trust. Your bank, your lawyer, or your chosen advisor, not in the casual chatter of someone who thinks they're entitled to your private business. And here's the deeper point. Your money is not the measure of your worth. Too often, society tries to reduce seniors to a balance sheet, as though the sum of your life can be added up with a calculator. But your true value has nothing to do with dollar. It's in your resilience, your wisdom, and the love you've poured into others. So the next time someone asks you, "How much do you have saved?" hear the alarm bells. Protect what's yours. Smile if you must. Change the subject if you want, but never give away the treasures you worked so hard to build? That question is not about friendship, it's about leverage, and you are far too valuable to be leveraged. Number 2. Are you living alone? This question might not sound threatening. In fact, it often comes coated in concern. Do you live by yourself? Someone asks, maybe with a sympathetic look or a tone of friendliness. But behind it, there's a risk that is far more dangerous than most seniors realize. The moment you reveal that you live alone, you've just handed over a piece of information about your vulnerability. For someone with a good heart, it might mean nothing. But for the wrong kind of person, it signals an open door. It tells them you might not have someone watching over you every day, that you might not have another pair of eyes to spot suspicious behavior, or another voice to step in when you're pressured. Criminals and scammers know this. They know that seniors living alone can be easier to isolate, manipulate, or target. It could be a stranger at the grocery store, a handyman knocking on your door, or even a friendly neighbor who's fishing for details. The simple truth is, you never owe anyone that answer. Where you live and how you live is your business, not theirs. And let's be honest, loneliness is already a battle many seniors face. Sometimes when asked, it feels tempting to answer just to start a conversation, just to share a piece of your life. But that longing for connection should never cost you your safety. Not everyone who asks has earned the right to know the details of your living situation. Living alone is not a weakness, it's a reality for many, and it often comes with independence and freedom. But it does mean you need to guard your privacy with greater intention, because while you may feel strong and capable, others may look at you as less protected. That's not fair, but it is real. So what do you do when faced with this question? You answer with wisdom, not details. You can simply say, "I'm taken care of," or "I'm not by myself." You don't owe specifics. You don't need to hand out a map to your life. Keep your boundaries firm, not because you're hiding, but because you're safeguarding the gift of your independence. And here's what's even more important. Don't let this question make you feel small. Living alone doesn't mean you are alone. You carry with you the presence of a lifetime of people you've touched, the memories you've created, and the strength you've proven time and again. Don't let anyone use your living arrangements as a way to measure your safety or your worth. Protect yourself. Protect your story. When someone asks, "Do you live alone?" remember that behind that simple question, there could be motives you can't see. And you deserve the peace of knowing you've given them nothing to use against you. Number 3, can I borrow your credit card or bank information? This is the kind of question that should stop you in your tracks. It doesn't matter who asks, whether it's a so-called friend, a neighbor, or even a family member. No one should ever put you in a position where you feel pressured to hand over your financial lifeline. A credit card, a bank account, those are not just pieces of plastic or numbers on a screen. They represent your independence, your ability to live freely, your safeguard against uncertainty. When someone asks to borrow your card or to just use your bank account for a moment, what they're really asking is for you to surrender control. And the truth is, once you hand over that control, it's nearly impossible to get it back. Many seniors who fall into this trap don't lose a few dollars. They lose thousands. They lose peace of mind. And sometimes they lose the trust they had in people closest to them. This is one of the cruelest betrayals because it often comes from those who act like they care. A child, a grandchild, or a relative in desperate need might beg you to help them out, to trust them just this once. And your heart, being generous, wants to give. You've spent your whole life sacrificing for others. It's in your nature, but giving access to your money is not generosity, it is vulnerability. The hard truth is, If someone truly respects you, they will never put you in that position. They won't ask you to risk your financial security for their convenience. They won't test your love by pushing you into something that could harm you. Genuine love doesn't manipulate. Genuine love doesn't drain. Protecting your credit cards and bank accounts is not selfish. It's wise stewardship. You worked for every penny. You saved when it wasn't easy. You built a safety net for yourself because you earned it. No one has the right to pry it out of your hands, and you have every right to say no without guilt. Remember this: boundaries are a form of love. They protect you, and they protect the integrity of your relationships. If someone crosses the line by asking for your financial tools, it's not your responsibility to give in. It's your responsibility to protect what that know might be the very thing that keeps you safe, stable, and standing strong. Number 4. What's your social security number? Few questions carry as much danger as this one. Your social security number is the key to your identity, the gateway to your credit, your benefits, your medical records, and your financial accounts. In the wrong hands, it's not just a number, it's your life laid bare. Too many seniors fall into the trap of believing that if someone asks politely or seems official, the request must be legitimate. A caller claims to be from the bank, the government, or even Medicare, and they say they just need to verify your number. But here's the truth: no legitimate agency, no bank, no service will ever casually ask for your social security number out of the blue. When someone does, it's not about helping you, it's about stealing from you. Identity theft is one of the fastest growing crimes in America, and seniors are often the biggest targets. Why? Because your information is valuable. Criminals know that with your social security number, they can open accounts, take out loans, and drain resources you worked a lifetime to secure. And sometimes, it's not a stranger at all. It's someone closer, someone who sees an opportunity to gain access through your trust. Protecting that number is not paranoia, it's survival. It's drawing a line in the sand and saying, "This belongs to me and no one else." There's nothing impolite about refusing to share it. In fact, it's one of the most powerful decisions you can make to guard your identity. And here's something important. You are more than a number. The system may use 9 digits to track your records, but you are not reducible to that string of figures. Your identity is deeper, richer, and sacred. Don't let anyone reduce your life, your history, and your hard-earned security to something they can scribble on a piece of paper. So when someone asks for your social security number, let that question ring in your ears like a siren. That is not curiosity. That is not curiosity. That is not care. That is a direct attempt to open the door into your most private world. Keep that door locked. Protect it with all the strength you have, because you are worth far more than what those numbers represent. Number 5. Can you sign this paper real quick? Few things are as dangerous to a senior as being pressured into signing something without fully understanding it. A piece of paper may look harmless. Maybe it's just a form, a contract, or even a simple-looking agreement, but the reality is that a rushed signature can change the course of your life. Scammers and manipulators know that many seniors were raised in a generation where your word and your signature meant everything. They exploit that honor. They rush you with words like, "It's just a formality," or "Don't worry, it's nothing big." But hidden within that paper could be a transfer of property, a financial commitment, or even a document that strips away your legal rights. There are heartbreaking stories of seniors who lost their homes because they trusted someone enough to sign quickly. Others unknowingly gave away power of attorney, leaving their finances and health decisions in the hands of people who did not have their best interest at heart. And once it's signed, undoing it is often a long, expensive, and painful battle. This is why you should never feel guilty for taking your time. If a person is honest, they will respect your need to read carefully, to ask questions, and to get advice before signing anything. If they push you, rush you, or shame you, that's the clearest sign of all that you should walk away. Your signature is powerful. It's not just ink on paper, it is your voice, your consent, your authority. Don't let anyone take that lightly. You've earned the right to slow down, to protect yourself, and to say no when the situation feels off. And here's the truth. Protecting yourself is not about being suspicious. It's about being wise. Wisdom says that no matter how small the paper looks, no matter how rushed the request feels, nothing is worth risking your independence. If it's truly legitimate, it will still be legitimate tomorrow, after you've had time to think. The world may try to rush you, but you have the right to move at your own pace. Your life is too valuable to be signed away with a quick stroke of a pen. Number 6. Do you have a will and what's in it? At first, this might seem like a normal question, maybe even one that comes from concern. But when someone presses you for details about your will, that's not about care. That's about curiosity mixed with control. A will is one of the most personal documents you'll ever create. It holds your final wishes, your legacy, and your decisions about what happens after you're gone. No one should pry into that unless you've chosen to share it. The problem with this question is that it often comes with hidden motives. Some people ask because they want reassurance that they're included. Others ask because they're hoping to influence you before it's too late. And sadly, there are stories of seniors who felt pressured to change their wills to satisfy someone else's desires. That is not love. That is manipulation. Your will is your voice when you're no longer here to speak. It belongs to you, and you alone. Whether you leave much or little, whether you divide it equally or choose to give in a certain way, that is your decision. No one has the right to corner you into explaining or justifying it. When you are asked this question, remember, curiosity is not the same as care. If someone truly cares for you, they won't try to force their way into matters that are private. They'll honor your decisions without needing to know the details. They'll support your independence instead of trying to shape it. And here's something empowering. You don't owe anyone your reasoning. You don't need to explain who gets what or why. Your legacy is not up for debate. Your will is your final gift, shaped by your values and your heart. And those who truly love you will respect that, even if they don't understand it. So when asked, do you have a will and what's in it? Hold your ground. Say that's personal, or I've taken care of it. That's all anyone needs to know. Your legacy belongs to you, and you have every right to protect it until the end. Number 7. Who takes care of your finances or health decisions? This question may sound like it comes from concern, but be careful. When someone asks who is in charge of your finances or your medical choices, they're probing for power. They want to know how much control you have and how much they might be able to influence. For a senior, this question is especially dangerous. If you reveal too much, you might unintentionally give someone the roadmap to manipulate you. Or worse, to manipulate the person who helps you. By sharing details about who handles your accounts or who makes medical decisions, you expose the structure of your support system. And once someone knows where the gatekeeper is, they may try to go around them or pressure them to get what they want. Here's the truth. You don't owe anyone this information. It's private. It's part of your safety. The only people who should know are those you've chosen to trust. Your doctors, your lawyer, or your closest family. Strangers, acquaintances, or even relatives who seem too curious don't deserve those details. Protecting this information doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise. Because once someone knows who has power over your finances or health, they might try to divide, manipulate, or pressure. And your peace of mind is worth more than satisfying someone else's curiosity. Your health and your money are two of the most sacred parts of your independence. Guard them carefully. When someone asks this question, remember, the right answer is not an explanation, it's a boundary. Conclusion: protecting yourself is protecting your dignity. At this stage in your life, you carry more wisdom than most people ever will. You've walked through decades of change. You've seen the best and worst of people, and you've built a life through resilience, sacrifice, and love that makes your trust precious, and it should never be handed out lightly. The questions we've talked about may sound harmless, but each one carries hidden danger. They are doors that once opened can lead to exploitation, loss, or betrayal. Saying no, guarding your privacy, and holding your ground is not about being fearful, it's about being faithful to yourself. You are not defined by what you reveal, but by what you protect. Every boundary you set is a reminder to the world that your dignity is not up for negotiation. And when you stand firm, you send a message. You may be older, but you are not weak. You are seasoned. You are strong, and you are still the keeper of your own life. So hold on to that wisdom. Honor it. Let it shield you. And remember this: being cautious doesn't make you less trusting. It makes you more powerful. Because the greatest treasure you can pass down